The day our king lost his crown in a strange land. You know how our elders say, a crown does not make a king, but it shows where the king belongs. I didn't really understand it until the year our king lost his crown. It happened many years ago, but my grandfather told me the story like it was yesterday. Our king, Oba Irele, was known for his pride. He loved to show off his golden crown whenever he traveled. It wasn't just any crown, it was carved with ivory, decorated with cowries, and blessed by the ancestors themselves. People said as long as the king wore it, our village would know peace. One season, the king decided to visit a neighboring town for a festival. He went with his chiefs, drummers, and dancers. The road was long and dusty, but they reached safely. In that land, however, people did not bow to crowns, they bowed to wisdom. The elders there looked at Oba Irele and said, "You are welcome, but here, the crown does not feed the hungry." Our king laughed and kept his crown on his head. He thought they were jealous. But one night, while he was resting, a heavy rain came. The festival ground flooded, and in the confusion, the crown slipped off his head and was swept away by the water. By morning, the crown was gone. The king sent his guards to search every corner, but the people of that land only shook their heads. "What use is it looking for gold when the stomach is empty?" they said. Days passed. The king grew restless without his crown. He refused to eat, he refused to speak, and he refused to sit in the gathering of men. His chiefs begged him, "Kabiyesi, you are still king, crown or no crown. Come home." But Oba Irele said, "How can a king return without his crown? My people will not respect me." Finally, the poor farmer's child brought him food. The little boy said, "My father says a king is not the crown. A king is the one who feeds his people." Those words broke the king's pride. He realized he had been chasing respect through gold instead of through service. So, he returned home with no crown on his head, only humility in his heart. When he reached the palace, the villagers were surprised. But instead of mocking him, they celebrated. They had heard what happened and admired that he came back. That day, Oba Irele ruled with more wisdom than ever. He helped the farmers plant, he listened to the widows, and he judged fairly. The funny part? Months later, a fisherman found the crown stuck between two rocks by the river. They brought it back to the king, but he no longer wore it every day. Sometimes, he even left it hanging in the palace hall. My grandfather ended the story by saying, "The crown may leave the king, but the king must never leave his people."